What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Deluxe, and today we are back with the CrewCast podcast. And it's been a long minute, I will say that. And today I have Shadow with me. I don't think anybody else is going to join us, but maybe we will have a couple people join us. But for right now, it is Shadow and I, and I'm perfectly fine with that because guess what? We are the same two people that started this thing off. And yeah, we are back. And thanks to Shadow for coming again this week. And we've taken a huge break, and I'll get into that here shortly. But, you know, first of all, I just had to say, welcome, Shadow. You're the best. Thanks for doing this with me once again. I know I literally popped this on him in the spur of the moment. I was like, hey, you know what? We have nobody in here. We might as well use the time wisely. And so let's go ahead and jump into a podcast. So thank you, Shadow.
I am the best, aren't I?
You are. You are, buddy.
You said it, not me.
But I really do appreciate it, Shadow. I know that I bug you a lot, and but it's good times. I always like hearing your side of things. I feel like me and you are the yin and the yang, and it's good to go back and forth on stuff. And I feel like we also agree on a lot of very important topics, but also can disagree and not be too irate about it on other topics. Which
disagree on the stupid shit.
Yeah, exactly. So it's good. I like it. But anyway, so let's talk about the break and why I took a break and whatever. So I had talked about this before, and I want to talk about it again. I felt like the podcast had basically been I took an hour out of people's time. There's only a certain amount of time that we had been we get on record, and so if you're in, like, let's say East Coast, it's 10 o'clock East Coast that we get on and we play every night, and then by the time we wrap things up 3 or 4 hours into it, people are pretty much spent. So I would take that first hour and use it for the podcast on Sunday nights, and sometimes it would be me and Shadow for the most part, almost every time, and then it would have one or two people here. D20, if he was around, he would join. Side and them are wishy-washy with it. Sometimes they are in the mood, sometimes they're not. So I felt like it was just causing mainly a rift between people, like just didn't want to put out their time. I felt like I didn't want to really push that on people. So I just kind of took a break from it, and basically I stopped uploading it, and I had a lot of people say, hey, what happened? I really like this podcast. I really like how you would put it on SoundCloud and then also have it on YouTube, where I can, if I had YouTube Red, I can just listen to all the ones that I missed and all that stuff. So we're back. I don't know how long this is going to go. I don't know if this is going to be an every week thing. This could be a one-time and done thing again. I don't know, but I wanted to bring it back and see what kind of response it got, and just kind of what you guys think about the whole thing coming back a little bit. But topic for today, I said that we have a few things going on. The main thing that a lot of people wanted to know about was Fortnite, and me and Shadow were just talking about Fortnite just a little bit. Shadow just now downloaded the game for the first time, and I'm really wanting to see what kind of Shadow wants to get out of Fortnite, what he thinks about Fortnite, and where this all kind of came from. So, Shadow, give me, why did you just now download this thing?
Well, I mean, first off, I just downloaded it. Like, I'm probably still a few days off from me even trying to play the thing. But, I don't know. I mean, I don't like, well, the reason why it took me so long, I guess, is I don't like Battle Royale games. I find them to be boring. I don't like how they are kind of RNG heavy. You land in the same spot as somebody else, and oh, he found a gun, you didn't, you're dead, bitch. Which I guess isn't too much of a problem, since Fortnite is more of a kind of like a casual thing anyway. So it's, I guess as long as you don't take it too seriously, like, I guess it's fine, whatever. You just start a new game, and then you're going to get a gun, and then you're going to kill somebody who didn't find anything, which might not be the most satisfying thing in the world. But regardless, but no, I watched obviously something that kind of takes over most of the country, or I maybe even the world, I don't know. Like, it's you kind of... You kind of can't help. Yeah, you kind of can't help but be at the very least intrigued. And like I've always been kind of intrigued, but I also there's been other stuff that I wanted to play, and I'm just like, it's battle royale. I don't know if I really want to waste my time on something that I'm probably not going to enjoy. But I watched Speedy and Sidearms in their tournament.
Yeah.
Thing,
Fridays, Fortnite Fridays,
yeah,
whatever it is. Yeah.
Whatever. And I mean, there's a couple other streamers that I've watched that have played it a little bit. And I'm just like, tried watching it, just trying to get into it, and like now, like the interest has gone from absolutely none to just a little bit.
I hear you.
I don't know if you saw it in the stream, but I compared the in your stream earlier today. But I compared the chances of me playing Fortnite to Side's dick. Very small, but it's there.
I love it, Shadow. I love that you're getting into it. I will say this. Fortnite has a lot of different aspects, which I think you would be good at. And it takes a different capacity than just your run around, eliminate, shoot, and try to conquer. I think there's a lot of different things that Fortnite brings to the table that you'll have fun with. I don't think winning is going to be your thing. I don't think you care that much. I think you trapping people, you building things where you could potentially get people to fall for your tricks and things like that. I think that's where you lay. They have changed Fortnite up so much where I think they just now came out with the spike trap that now only gives 75 damage, and if you don't know anything about Fortnite, you have 100 damage that you can take without adding any extra health when you start the game, and if you get hit by a trap, it's 75 of that, so you have 25 left, which doesn't kill you, and so it really sucks. I think they're going to probably bump it back up because so many people hate that, because the trap kills are, of course, going down by a lot, and it doesn't bring that extra element to it. But they used to, at the very beginning, have like 3 to 4 different traps that you could use, which was really cool. And you could try to trick people and have different designs to get people to kill themselves or you kill them or whatever. But I think you're going to like the game. I think you're going to like the game just because of how open it is, and every situation is so different from the next situation that you might come across. So I really do think you're going to like it.
I mean, that's what intrigued me, like specifically when I was watching Speedy and Side play. Like, Speedy put down a trap, or Sidearms put down a trap, or they ran into a trap or something like that. I'm like, wait, there's traps, and so just like that kind of stuff. And like you said, it's I don't see winning being that big of a deal to me, because that was another thing that has kind of kept me away from it, because like you can finish first or you can finish 100th, it doesn't matter, you get the same thing. Like there's no
real reward.
There's no real reason to try to finish first, except for like putting it on your Snapchat story and getting like 1 million likes. And
no, everybody does it, and it really makes me cringe when people get 1 to 2 kills and they like are all about it, which makes no sense to me. So I'm like, whatever.
But yeah, but like I started thinking like, well, maybe that could be a good thing, and you're right. Like if I could just, I imagine those kind of kills would be rare, like me putting a trap like in a house and then having somebody chase me up on top of that house, and then me shooting the roof out from underneath it and then having them fall in the trap, just things like that. Like if I could do that like that,
you can. And I mean,
it's piqued my interest at the very least.
I don't think a lot of people has actually tapped into what you can actually do on that game, Shadow. I think there's a lot of stuff that a lot of people haven't utilized yet in that game, and I think you could do a really good job. I don't know if you would want to start a series on it or whatever, but
no.
I think that there's still room for people to do that with traps and all that stuff. But I like it, man. I like it. I like that you have a little bit of interest in the game that I have pretty much spent the last however months and when it first came out until now playing. I literally have not played another Battle Royale besides that since it first came out. And it's just because it's so different, and it's vibrant. It's everything you want in a Battle Royale. and that has got like my genre. My genre is definitely battle royale, coming from the DayZ days, then going to watching people play Arma. I didn't play Arma that much, but I watched people like Lyric and Break play Arma and do a great job of winning those battle royales, and then kind of getting closer to PlayerUnknown himself and doing some of the things that we did with like charity streams, and then going in and playing a battle royale with DayZ and their developers and all those people that really sparked my interest. And then H1Z1 came out, and that was my game because it was the PlayerUnknown had taken his design, and then H1Z1 had paid him to put it into the game, and they incorporated that, and he was like, hey, I'm starting a new game that's going to be set alone by itself. PUBG came out, and when PUBG came out, to be honest, I didn't like it. I played the first couple of alphas, and it was just test stuff, and it was horrible. And then it came out, and it got better in a small amount of time, and it put H1Z1 in like I don't know, they were in just a bad spot because of it, and they killed it. And then Fortnite comes out, and they kill it even more than PUBG did. So it's just been everybody's one-upping each other, and I don't know. That's my genre for sure. I love that genre. And I know you really haven't played, though. Like, I can't think of you really playing any of those titles with us at any point in time. You might have played one or two, but nothing crazy.
I mean, I tried with H1Z1 when it first came out, but with H1Z1, I liked the other thing, the survival, running around and trying to kill people and loot them. And
I think that's still for sale. I think they had that for sale, but I made H1Z1 Battle Royale free now.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't care about it anymore. I mean,
yeah, I know, but I'm saying that's still a thing. I don't think there's a big market for it, and a lot of people play it. But yeah, it surprised me that it's still a thing, to be honest. But what else was going to say with the battle royales that I think you're really going to like? I don't know. I think having random teammates is a really cool deal too, Shadow. I don't know if you're into that, but I know as we kind of grew up throughout the COD days, talking to people, interacting with people was such a big thing. It's not like toxic H1 in the lobby, everybody saying the N-word and saying the most racist stuff you can ever hear. But when you get a teammate that's on Fortnite, it's kind of a really cool deal too, especially in a duo situation. You can communicate with that person. You kind of create a friendship in a small amount of time. I think that's something you would do well with. I don't know if that piques your interest, but I think it's a cool aspect that it's not really toxic. It's a good environment to have a conversation with somebody that's on your team, that you're trying to help each other out. And I don't know, it's kind of like, this is a really bad way of putting it, but this is the first thing that came to my mind, is if you're in a bad situation and you have to work together with somebody to get something accomplished. Like if there was a car wreck and you had to get someone out of a car and for them not to, sustain more injuries or something like that. That's kind of where my mind goes to, but I feel like that's where you're at when you jump into a battle royale game. Not that serious, but you're in there with a stranger and you're trying to help and get the same cause accomplished. So I like that feel. So I don't know if that's something you'd like or not, but
well, that is an interesting point that you brought up, because not that I have seen a boatload of streams and footage and all that, but I mean, after playing a lot of Overwatch specifically, like that game is toxic as hell. But I mean, now that you mention it, like I don't, and it's probably just because most of what I see is just people like they're doing, and they're going to be friends with each other, or like if you Speedy and Sidearms play and you get a random like that's just going to be a good environment no matter what. Like it's all chill. But I don't think I've seen a Fortnite stream where just people were at each other's throats, like saying that they're shit and garbage. I mean, I know it's probably happened, but I haven't seen it. So
yeah, I think the Fortnite frustration mainly comes from within, with people dying or something happening with the battle, not necessarily what has invoked as far as a verbal altercation. Where COD, you could talk crap to people or what else, CS:GO was the same way. They took out the speech in that, but at halftime you could talk shit to people and all that
was
stuff.
good shit.
That was cool, and that was great for our content. But I think this environment that Fortnite has created helps enable where you're just more of a chill person than at each other's throat in H1Z1, where you kill someone, you go, you fucking suck, your mom is horrible, blah blah blah. You're not really trying to get somebody. Yeah, exactly. Got him. But I don't think that ever crosses the line, and I don't think Fortnite will ever cross that line. I think they have it down pat where you can only talk to teammates and you can't talk to the other team or people around you, which is nice. I like it because I think that only creates toxicity and then makes the game less appealing to the younger ages, which is a big market thing for them. You're not seeing clips on Twitch where some 40-year-old man is yelling at some 11-year-old kid about killing him, or an 11-year-old kid yelling at some 40-year-old man that he needs to suck his mom's dick or something like that. So that only creates a bad environment for whoever's mom sees that on Twitter and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Then it becomes into like a GTA mentality. I remember when GTA came out and my mom was trying to get my grandma to buy the GTA for me. And my grandma was like, no, I'm not buying it for him because it's a adult game. And my mom was like, it's okay. He is killing people, but he's not going to go shoot up a school. And I don't know. It was just, you get that kind of sense where you could see people being put off by an older adult game that isn't like, I don't know, so PC. But I feel like Fortnite's the most PC thing that all ages have been playing, from 8-year-olds all the way to 9-year-olds. I don't know, but I find it's been a good
8-year-olds to 9-year-olds.
For real, I mean, I've seen it. I've seen the older generation play it, and I've seen I've seen and played with younger kids that are like, I don't know, from probably 10 and up, probably. So, I don't know. I like it. I like the way that Fortnite has done this. Epic has done a great job with the skins and the way they've approached everything. And they've also been a company a lot like GTA that hasn't really given a lot to creators. What I mean by that, a lot of freebies. I should say that. They haven't given V-Bucks to a bunch of creators. They don't give out, free swag and stuff like that to creators to promote their stuff. They know they have a good thing, and they're continually working on it. They don't care who you are or what you do. They're there to make it for everyone across platforms, where I've seen some companies really suck up to creators, throw a lot of money at them, throw a lot of swag at them, throw a lot of this, and that at them to try to promote a game. And Fortnite doesn't do that, and GTA never did that as well. So I respect it.
I hear nothing but good things about Fortnite devs.
Yeah.
Especially coming from, again, Overwatch, where they just kind of take their time fixing things that need to be fixed.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it's a good environment? Tell me a little bit about Overwatch as far as the game. Do you still think it's on the right track and they're doing the right things to make it grow, or do you think it's at a standstill or a decline? Where do you think Overwatch is going? Sorry, I almost said Fortnite.
I don't know if I mean, it's just the main problem with Overwatch is, like I said earlier, like just the toxicity that comes with it. Like everybody thinks they're the best, and if the team loses, it's everybody's fault but theirs. And they just expect to win every single game. It's never. It's just really not a good time a lot of the times. But as far as the game is concerned, I still think Fortnite. I still think Overwatch is probably the best PvP experience that I've ever been a part of. Like the game modes, like all the different characters doing all different things. They're all just very unique from each other.
Have they added any characters lately, Shadow?
Oh yeah, they just added a new character, which not everybody's a fan of. That's completely changed the way the game is played.
Oh, really? Is it like a healer? What are we talking here?
Yeah, it's a healer who has a who has a shield.
Was
Which
the OP?
I don't know, to be honest. Like I haven't played a lot. People throw OP around a lot. I doubt overpowered. I doubt she's that bad, but yeah, but like this is kind of like what we're talking about. Like with Fortnite, if Fortnite releases something, or if, I should say, if something is put into Fortnite and it's a bad idea, like from what I've seen, the devs are like, hey, you know what? We messed up, and like it's gone in a week.
Oh
It's
yeah,
just like,
they're really
you know,
good. They did that for a couple things, the missiles and,
like
stuff like that. Yeah.
we screwed this up. Like our bad. Blizzard with Overwatch will be like, okay, so we did this, but just trust us, it's fine. Like it's just let it play out. Just let it go. And
Let it
like
be.
I agree that can be a good thing to some extent. Like knee-jerk reactions aren't necessarily always the best thing to go off of. But like not too long ago, I don't really want to go into too many details, but freaking Mercy was just ridiculously strong to the point where, like, you know, she had to be picked every game. If you didn't have a Mercy, you were going to lose the game. And she needed to be retuned badly, and Blizzard just left her untouched for like 4 months, 5 months or something like that. And that turned off a lot of people from the game.
Mm.
So that's one thing. Yeah. Like I haven't heard anything. Like now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think that I have heard anything bad about Fortnite other than people saying, "Oh, it's battle royale, so it's boring," or whatever. Just like kind of subjective things like that.
I think Fortnite has a long shelf life for this year, and I'll say that with like some caution. They do a very, very, very good job of incorporating new things into the game that piques people's interest and keeps people's interest a lot. So they're about to put in shopping carts, will be the first vehicle in the game. But as you can tell, like a shopping cart's probably not going to be something that's like really, really going to give you an advantage, but it might be quirky enough for you to get some clips off of, and it might be rare for people to have and things like that. So they have always done that, whether it's been the boogie bomb, which is the bomb you can throw and you start dancing if you get hit by it, or just they do silly stuff all the time, where they incorporated where they had a glitch where you could ride on a rocket, and then they made it better for you to ride on that rocket. But so they started putting in self-guided missiles. They ended up taking those out, but they still kept it in and made it easier for you to get on a rocket. Made the hitbox bigger and made it where it was a lot easier for you to ride a rocket if you want to do that. So they take their mistakes and they've molded them to good things. They've brought things into the game that I thought were needed. Whether it comes to buffing or nerfing a gun, they've taken out guns completely that just were. They had a Tech 9 that they took out completely that nobody really used. It gave it was basically a disadvantage for a lot of people, so they took it out entirely. They've done a good job. Like they had a crossbow that was worthless that no one ever used, so they took that out. They added a lot of new guns and ideas that the community has asked for. And I mean, now people on the Reddit, if you go to the Fortnite Reddit, they're complaining about the dumbest stuff. Like if you look at your character in game,
I mean that's for Reddit.
Oh, it is, and so it makes me laugh because if you go to some of these other games, they're like bitching about big problems. They're literally griping about how fast you can turn your character in the loading screen. Like before you get into the game, if to look at your outfit and stuff, they're literally complaining about how fast you can turn it. I'm like, are you serious? This is what you're complaining about? If there's ever like a building problem where you like glitch through a build or something like that, they fix it within a week. But I'm very happy with where Fortnite is. And a lot of people will say, what are you going to do if Fortnite ends or the thing goes away? I think I'm still going to play it a bit. I don't think I'm going to play it every night. I'm not going to say that, but I'm here to stay. I've been here since day one. I really like the game. It continues to grow. They continue to it's a big cash, cow for them. So I don't see them really backing off from it. It's been like a global phenomenon, of course, and I think it going to esports, and I don't think it's esport ready, but I think going to esport can only help it in the future. So these pro teams are popping up. I don't like the pro scene so far, though. It seems to be amateur, and I don't know how to even say it. I feel like there's a lot of kids that are good at Fortnite and become quote-unquote pro quickly, and a lot of people are looking up to those people, and they're not the greatest people to look up to, where I feel like even the Counter-Strike community, the Overwatch community, some of these communities that have a little bit more of a backbone. I'm not saying the backbone is entirely strong, but I feel like the Fortnite pro scene isn't the best to look up to right now. Now, there's some great ones out there that are probably going to do great things, and I can name a few. I really like Dakota Z. I really like what he's doing. Cypher, I really like what he's doing. I like a lot of people that have like a positive message, that are good players and really are students of the game. But I feel like there's some people out there that are just straight toxic, and all they do is bring negativity into the scene. I'm not going to call those people out, but I feel like I don't like the pro scene right now for Fortnite. That's the only complaint that I have right now with Fortnite, is just, but they can't necessarily pick their pros either. But people are starting to formulate teams and already starting to trade teams, quit teams, come back to teams. But there's really not been an official tournament yet. I mean, the thing that Keemstar is putting on is just a charity pickup game, if you will, when you're bringing in people like Logan Paul that can't even get a kill, and then you're bringing in some of the pro team players that are just waxing the floor with people. But it's also good for people that are really good players, like your Noah Jays, that are positive people, that have a good message out there, that can kill some of the best people in the world on Fortnite, and just a good dude all the way around. That's the kind of stuff that I like to see with the community, and I think they're doing a good job with that. And shout out to Keemstar for putting that tournament together too, and allowing our friends like Speedy, Jehovah, and Side to all be in that. That's good stuff. That's good publicity for us, and that's good stuff for the Fortnite community. So I'm happy where Fortnite's going right now, and a lot of people ask that on Twitter. What are you going to do about Fortnite if it ever comes to this end or that end? But as we transition, I want to talk a little bit now that basketball is coming to an end and hockey's coming to an end. And if you're not a sports fan, I apologize. We don't really talk about sports a lot on here, but I want to talk about sports because where we're at right now, it's a great time in sports right now. We have college baseball coming to an end. We have, like I said, basketball and hockey as well, and with some other sports going on, like the U.S. men's national teams playing a little bit there. World Cup's coming up. So there's a lot of things going on. Softball's coming in for you ladies. Sorry, I kind of kept that out. But, yeah, it's a good time in sports. Shadow, if you don't know, is a huge hockey fan. And he basically has been a lifetime Penguins fan. Okay?
Yeah, damn right.
And I'm a 19th seat back of the plane type of Penguins fan. I like to cover them a little bit, but I don't know not even a hair of what Shadow knows about the team. I know the older teams and kind of where they're at, but we have a crazy situation in the NFL right now where the expansion team is in the Stanley Cup Finals with a veteran team, the Caps, and Shadow is going, and I asked him this, he's going for the expansion team. Is it because of a certain player on the other team, Shadow?
Because of, well, I mean, it goes both ways. I want to see Marc-Andre Fleury just win everything because that man is.
He was the Penguins goalkeeper, by the way. Yeah. Go ahead.
And I also don't want to see Alexander Ovechkin win a cup ever.
That's exactly where I was headed with that. Ovechkin.
And that's mostly. I don't necessarily have a problem with Ovechkin himself, but Capitals fans can go fuck themselves. Not really much else to say. Yeah, but just basically, all right. let me rephrase. It's not that I don't want to see Ovechkin win the cup. I don't want to see Capitals fans see Ovechkin win the cup.
Okay.
Kind of like how I didn't necessarily want the Eagles to never win a Super Bowl. I didn't want Eagles fans to be rewarded with a Super Bowl win.
Oh, by the way, if you don't know, Shadow has roots in Pennsylvania, so we make fun of him at times because he's a Giants fan, which I will say he's a true Giants fan, whether they've sucked like they have this year or they've won, Super Bowl after Super Bowl. He's been a real one. So I can't say that he's a fake fan. He wasn't happy when Philly won, and we pushed him to the edge with it, but he did not care. But that kind of like, I don't know, that intrigues me, Shadow, that was your family Giants fans or were they Philly fans?
No. They were, my dad's a Philly fan. Like anything, I mean, except for basketball. I don't really care about basketball, but like Phillies, Flyers, Eagles, he's all about that. Mom's a big Eagles fan. But no, I didn't let my birthplace determine what my favorite team was going to be. Like everything just kind of fell into place. Like I'm a Mets fan. I mean, I've explained this 400 times. But yeah, like Mets fan because when I played like youth baseball, I was on the Mets. And so like I felt like I was a part of that organization. Same thing with the Jazz. Like it is just a coincidence that pretty much all of my favorite teams are all huge Philly rivals. Well, maybe not. I mean, because they're Philly rivals, they're everywhere, and I see them quite often. But still, yeah, it's not some like hipster thing where I'm just like, I'm just gonna go against the crowd, which I've also been accused of. But no, it's a
true love and a true hate.
Penguins fan since I was like 6 years old, I want to say.
I kind of have the same type of thing, Shadow. I grew up a Brett Favre fan in football. Like I had his jersey growing up. My mom actually handed me a big box of stuff the other day, and she was like, "Hey, here's all your jerseys and stuff." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" It's like all your sports jerseys growing up. And I opened it up. On top, my Brett Favre jersey that I had when I was 8 years old. 8, 9, 10, 11, or 12. It's somewhere in there. I say 8, but I could be wrong. And then my Jerry Rice jersey is right underneath that. And if you don't know, D20 is a huge 49ers fan, and I'm a huge Green Bay Packers fan, but that's where I was. I had the Green Bay Packers comforter. I had the banner on my wall, like the huge one that before they had fat heads. I had the Brett Favre jersey. I had the fake helmet on top of my my headboard. Like I was like pimped out in Green Bay stuff, but it was during the time where they were winning a lot of games. They were killing it. So I can't sit here and say that they sucked in blah blah blah, but they were killing it. So I mean that was kind of what I wanted to do. I wanted to be like Brett Favre growing up, but I live nowhere close to Green Bay, Wisconsin. Not even close. But right. I'm a Green Bay fan. Even if Aaron Rodgers breaks his back in 19 places and him and Olivia Munn broke up, I'm still a big Aaron Rodgers fan, and I'm going to support the Green Bay Packers no matter what. And so I feel you on that, Shadow. I feel you on that, so I can't hate. I really can't hate. But I understand also being a certain kind of fan because your parents had pretty much brought you up that way. And I don't know. I feel like that way sometimes when it comes to other sports and stuff with my dad. I think that's probably my biggest influence with sports. He actually was a Broncos fan, and this is the time where Elway and all them were doing great too.
Right.
And he still likes them even though they're dog trash, as I like to say. But I mean, I get it. I get it if your family kind of brought you up. Especially, I live in the South. That is huge, especially the college teams around here and the SEC. People freak the F out. And it's probably that way in other parts of the country too. But in the South, it is like, I feel like on another level. If you grew up in Alabama, if your family was Auburn, you were Auburn. If it came up with you were Bama, then you're Bama all the way. There is no crisscross between the same family. You're either one side or the other side. There's no crisscross. So,
Right.
yeah, I feel like that's a huge thing here in the SEC. But overall, I get where you're coming from. I feel you. I had my heroes. Who was some of the heroes that you had growing up, Shadow, that you really looked up to? Whether it was a person that played for the Mets, the Giants, another team. Who were some of your like athletic heroes?
I don't know if I can go so far as to say hero. Actually, that's not true. Mario Lemieux was the GOAT, and he still is the GOAT. Like, I'm sorry, like for all you Gretzky fanboys out there, if Lemieux was better, like I don't know what to tell you. I think the stats kind of show that as far as points per game and all that. Like,
yeah, he was very productive.
Lemieux is like, I think he's 7th all time in points scored, and he's the only one in the top like 20 or something that didn't even play 1,000 games. Like that was a career shortened by cancer. Motherfucker beats cancer, comes back, still dominates. Like, I like to think that if and I think just kind of being a YouTuber of whatever stature this is, I don't want to say celebrity, but I think this has kind of helped me with this. Like, I like to think that I wouldn't be starstruck if I ever met like a famous person or something like that. Like if Matthew McConaughey just like walked into my grocery store one day, like I don't think that I would just sit there and stare at him and be like, "Oh my god, can I have your autograph?" I think I'd probably just let him go, let him be, and be like, "Whatever, it's chill."
I think
just
so too, Shadow.
Just for his sake.
That's a great, I don't know, analogy. But go ahead.
But I think if I ever got the chance to meet Mario Lemieux, I would be I'd get a little jello leg. That guy just classy as hell. Saved the Penguins, kept them in Pittsburgh. No, Kansas City Penguins. So yeah, I mean, Mario's up there. Mike Piazza's another one.
Oh yeah, he was a catcher for the Mets. If you don't know, guys.
Mike Piazza, David Wright, more recent. I think when Mike Piazza played for the Mets, that was like, I was when I was like first starting to get into it, kind of thing. Like I wasn't really around to like, or I wasn't watching baseball to truly appreciate Mike Piazza and everything that he did. But like David Wright is kind of like my Mike Piazza.
Okay.
In that sense, I'm the generation after. Kind of sucks that his career is coming to an end. It makes me really sad, but we must move on.
I like Piazza. He was always one of the manly man guys. He was always like a true baseball player. He's one of those guys you look at like a Pete Rose that you're like, yeah, he's a true thug from, back then. I'm trying to think who played with him. Who was his sidekick on the Mets? He had was a shortstop, second baseman. During that same
Robin Ventura.
I don't know. I don't know if that's it, but I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping out. But I thought he had like a sidekick, a guy kind of like Mike Biggio and
Craig Biggio.
Is it Craig? Craig Biggio and who's the other one?
Bagwell.
Jeff Bagwell. See, you finished it for me. I was like, those were like sidekicks with each other. Wouldn't you agree? Like back in the day?
Yeah.
For the Astros?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm trying to think back to that team.
Piazza. I thought Piazza had like a sidekick.
If one day you come up to me and you say like, "Hey, this is the guy who I was talking about," I will remember it right away. But...
Yeah, right now I'm just at a blank, but it's all good. By the way, Shadow, you brought up something that kind of sparked my interest a little bit, and you were talking about whatever level of celebrity this is, whether it's Z level, triple Z, whatever. I'm like you. I feel like if there was somebody really famous in the room, I wouldn't necessarily go mob them because I wouldn't want to be mobbed.
Exactly.
And let's just say this is 2014 and we're killing it channel-wise, and we go to some conference and there's a lot of kids there that look up to us and stuff. I wouldn't want to be mobbed. That's why I've always been kind of private about my stuff. I don't want to be bothered. I just want to make videos.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want everything else that goes along with it. Like, I don't care about it. Where some people, that's what they feed on. This is what they want to make.
Right.
That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like I'm with you in that same boat. And along those same lines, I wanted to talk about this, and this got brought up by Beasley. She said she wants us to talk about each of our expectations / plans for the future of our YouTube channels. And I thought that was a cool way of putting it. Like, what's your expectations for your channel, and what's your future plans? I'll say near future plans for your channel. Like, what do you have? What do you have in mind that you would like to do? Not necessarily that you're going to do, but what would you like to do? So expectations, and tell me what your plan is. Short term.
I couldn't tell you. I don't know. Like, that's something that's kind of been kind of weighing heavily on my mind. If I can become a little vulnerable a little bit. Like, it's something, I mean, I don't see Twitch and YouTube, like, I don't see this just, like, going away, like, in the next few months even. But that is something that kind of worries me. Like, okay, so, like, if this goes away, which it very well might not, you know, like, this, like, this whole, like, YouTube full-time career thing, like, this is still new. Like, we're the first kind of generation that has been able to do this. Like, right. You know, maybe I will be doing this into my 50s and 60s. Like, who the hell knows? Like, I don't know. But if it doesn't, like, what the hell comes after that? Like, I don't know. But that's not the question that was asked. Future of my YouTube channel, I still don't know. I just kind of take it a day at a time. Like, whatever happens, happens. Like, if something comes up that I like to upload, I'll upload it. I do want to kind of move more towards Twitch. I like streaming on Twitch a whole lot better. I like just the interaction with the people watching. You can do a lot more on Twitch that you can do on YouTube. For example, Destiny. Like, just really just grindy games that wouldn't really make for good YouTube content, but, you know, you could just sit there and just do, like, the same monotonous task over and over and over again, but it's on Twitch, so you're talking to people, so it's all good. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like to think ahead into the future like that, just because there's so many variables.
There is.
That you just can't account for.
It really is. And I like you streaming on Twitch, Shadow. I really like you incorporating the face cam, which is not always the end all be all to your Twitch channel, but I like that you've incorporated it at least. And when you feel like that's something that you want to provide, that you can do that, which I really like that. I like watching you play Overwatch. I like watching you play these puzzle games. I think Mine Night for your YouTube channel is amazing. I think you do a great job of that game. I know I piss you off in that game when we play as a group and stuff like that. But I like that it's mental for you and not mental for me, because I just go off of instinct a lot of times and not necessarily get thrown in one section or the other. I like that it's different things for different people. I like Mind Night as a whole and what it does. I like that they're actually working on the game a little bit and changed it up a bit too. But as far as the Twitch stuff goes, I agree with you. I think that it's not going anywhere anytime soon. And if we're ever given the opportunity to continue doing this for a long period of time, that would be great. And if it doesn't, I really haven't looked too far in advance when it comes to that stuff. I just take it day by day. For my YouTube channel, I really do think, with my hardest of hearts, and if I had to put $100 on it today, I would definitely do that. Do I think the crew will start to move in the upward direction and kind of get back to where we were? I do. Do I think we're going to get all the way back where we were? No. But could we? Yes. Could we pass where we were? You bet. I think that's the thing. But I think we still have at least one more big push. I don't know from what game. I don't know from what. I don't know what concept. I just know that we work too hard. When I say that, I don't want to make it sound like, oh, YouTube's so hard. But I feel like we're here on a regular basis. I feel like we're actually having fun. I feel like we still enjoy each other's company. I feel like we're one of the truest friend groups on YouTube, bar none. I think that we still have something left to offer the online world somewhere out there that could pick up. It could be a G18 blowing up off of Fortnite. It could be the dumbest. It could be the dumbest thing you could think of, and it could launch some of our channels in a forward direction. And I really like that possibility because I've seen other YouTubers do it now that we've been in this game for 7+ years. We've seen friends go from nothing to something, from something to nothing and back to something, from something to nothing and never coming back, to retiring, to being straight across the board the whole way. But I'm still enjoying YouTube as a whole. I really enjoy making content. I feel like we've grown so much in the last 7 years. And I don't want to sound like that dad, oh, I'm so proud of us, but I am proud of us on everything that we've accomplished so far. There's like some little check marks that I want to get done, and Shadow doesn't give a shit, but I do give a shit. I want Shadow and G18 and D20 to all get past 1 million just to do it, not just as a number. And I know it's stupid, but as a number.
I don't think that's never going to happen.
That's fine, but I want that to happen. There's little things that I still think there's like, but when I got to 1 million, after that, I didn't care. As far as numbers go, like I remember thinking about getting to 1 million every single day. But when you get there, it's like, yay. It's like, oh, okay, I made it. But I kind of want, there's a lot of little things I have on my to-do list left on YouTube. I feel like we're not done. But I'm with Shadow. Whatever comes our way, I'm happy to upload it, do it, and be about it. I think you have to evolve. I think you have to change. I think you can't do the same thing and think it's going to be okay or things are going to get better. You can tell that, and just this is something really small, but I'll throw it out there. From my thumbnails, I have changed my thumbnails probably 9,000 times. I'm looking for whatever style fits me and that other people also like. And so I have thrown out 1 billion different types. Some have stuck, some have fallen off the wall, some never stuck at all, some never even made it to the wall. But I'm in like my 90th right now just with thumbnails. But I do enjoy it, and I'm with Shadow. I really, really, really want to stream more. I streamed today. It's fun. There's so much stuff that you can do on Twitch. I feel relaxed on Twitch. I like interacting with people. I like playing games where I can look at chat and interact and play and give you something that is quality where you can enjoy yourself as well. It's just a weird world out there with Twitch and the way that streaming has gone. I like streaming on YouTube. I think that I get more people watching me on YouTube. I feel like there's a lot more people that have a better chance of coming to watch me on YouTube that don't know who I am and to find me and kind of grow from there. So I do like the YouTube thing, but I'm going to hit up Twitch pretty hard this summer, just to be honest. Not as much on YouTube, but I do like this fact of YouTube, and I know a lot of people haven't seen me stream on YouTube. But when I go to a YouTube stream, I put in a thumbnail, and then I stream. And when I stream, I can put ads on that stream, and it turns into a video. I can also take clips from that video because I record it as a blank slate in the background so you don't see the donations and stuff like that. I edit that video, and I can put up highlights and things like that as well, which I've been trying to do a lot more of. The Super Chat donations, the regular donations, and the sponsorships, which is basically like a sub for Twitch, that all adds up and has been good for me. So I get the ad revenue from the video. I get the new people coming into my stream. I get more people at my stream. I get the Super Chat donations, I get the regular donations, and I also get the sponsorships. And I don't have to upload a video that day because I already put one out. And so those things have made me like YouTube a lot, but there's something about Twitch that I don't know what it is that makes me come back to it all the time. Maybe because it was back in Justin TV when I signed up for it, and I was like, this is really weird, but I really am addicted to watching people stream and hear what they have to say. As they play video games and their mess ups, their fails, or whatever. Because I feel like a lot of times on YouTube, you see people put up YouTube videos, and the editing is so different from how things really happened that it's a pure entertainment factor. Where on Twitch, you see the person for who they are. You get to learn a little bit more about them, and that's what I like about Shadow. You go into Shadow, you learn about Shadow. You go in, and you're going to see he's going to be chill. He's going to tell you how he really thinks about something. If you ask him something stupid in the chat, he's going to answer your stupid ass, and he's going to give you exactly what you want to hear. He's going to tell you what he really feels, whether it's me or anybody else in the chat, and I really do like that about Shadow's Twitch. So, Shadow, keep doing what you're doing, man. I really like that stuff. I really do. I really do.
I will. Now that I have your permission.
But I don't know. I'm a fan of yours. I really am, Shadow. I've always liked your stuff. I would like this, Shadow. I would like for you to do more music stuff. Is that a bad thing?
I want to. No, it's not a bad thing.
Okay.
I want to. It's just, it has been a struggle for the past few years.
I know.
It's that it used to come. Do you fucking remember back in the day? I think we need to go back to COD and play Search and Destroy because that's just boring enough for me to just sit there and
oh damn, bro,
get inspired. But like, man, I used to like the songs weren't good, but like I used to get a song done every like 2 weeks or something like that, 2 weeks a month, just pump them out. Like it just came so easily, and now it's hard. I don't know what happened.
Not so much, huh? Yeah, you put out your 2 a year now. Not 2 a month, 2 a year.
Yeah, it sucks.
They're so good.
I want to.
They're vintage Shadow, though. Like, when you hear Shadow music, you know it's Shadow music. And I love that about you.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I think you have your sound. I like it. I don't know.
I don't know if it's a good sound.
Like, when you hear a shitty, what are those? The fucking Chainsmokers songs. You know their same beat is in the same background with the same cadence of everything. You know their shitty song is still their shitty song, which makes them, to a lot of people, not so shitty. And I think for you, it's good. I like it. I like the Shadow. I like my vintage Shadow from 2014 Search and Destroy COD.
I don't know if that was a compliment or not.
I know. It's a backhanded. No, I'm just kidding. It was good. It was good. I like that Shadow. So, I don't know, man. I think you need to get back on that horse. Here's what I really like. I like your collabs. I like your collabs with Joel. I like your collabs with D1. I think all that stuff is great. And I will say this. I saw the other day where you and him and Joel were all mentioned in a tweet, and he needed something from you and Joel to make a song.
Yeah, we suck.
Did you not finish that?
Not yet.
Oh,
it's no, I mean the song's finished. We just need to make a video for it, and D1's just like, hey, everything's done, and Joel and I don't want to say. I mean, Joel's probably done. I am just dragging my feet because whatever. I'm not gonna spoil. No spoilers.
But I think that. Oh, can we talk about D1 just for a second though? Like, how good is that guy? That guy is a great guy.
I'd fuck him.
Okay, here's my thing with D1. If you don't know who D1 is, I'll put his link down in the description. And he's coming on this podcast before, and I might have him here next week or whenever, 3 years from now when we start this next episode. But with D1, this guy, I watched him the other day on Twitch, and he's the most talented guy on all of Twitch. I'm not joking you. This guy has talent, real talent, not any of that video game bullshit or watching your girl's cleavage as she eats ramen noodles kind of talent. I'm talking real talent. He has 25 people watching him, but he is out there just performing his ass off, doing, like, if he had a little bucket on the side of the road and people were watching him doing this same thing, he would be making hundreds of dollars. People would be throwing their wallet in there, their kids in there. They'd be throwing everything in there. This guy is fucking top of the line, very talented, making music, and he will do requests for you and stuff like that. He plays the drums, he does the keyboard, he does everything. So I was watching him the other day, and I was just thinking, man, I wish I could do something for D1 that would really get him his name out there, because he deserves it. He works so hard, and he does so much stuff for us, and he's such a good guy. He's always made content for us. He makes all the crew remixes that you guys see that we retweet and we put on videos from the past, and he still makes them. Like, we're still so popular in 2014, and we're not, and he still makes them all the time. So big shout out to D1, one of the best guys that I know. And Shadow's actually been over his house a few times and worked with him on different projects. So big shout out to him. But I miss that, Shadow. I miss you working with him and you working with Joel. I think I'm going to tell the same thing to Joel. Joel, get your ass back out there and start making some more music. I was riding inside's little Prius or whatever the hell he drives. And he put on one of y'all's songs. I don't remember it might have been Call of Duty and Blowjobs or whatever it was. But I was like, man, this is the good old days. This is good stuff. And we were talking about when that was and kind of how that came about and stuff. And I was like, Jesus Christ, that's so long ago that y'all put that music out. Have you noticed that, Shadow? That was like forever ago.
Oh, I just kind of realized that not too long ago. Like, in June, I will have graduated from high school 10 years ago.
You're old.
I don't feel old, but it's just like, damn, like, where'd the time go?
Right? That's crazy. That is absolutely nuts.
There was another thing, which I drove past an elementary school not too long ago, and I guess they had, like, the new students that were going to be, like, starting first grade next year or whatever. Like, they came to visit the school or whatever.
Right.
And on the little sign out in front, it said, "Welcome, class of 2031.
Jesus. How old does that make you feel?
What? Again, I don't know if feeling old is the right word, but that was just, like, damn.
Well, your time has passed, basically. You know? Like, you're not even in the same atmosphere with those kids. Like, they're so much younger than you and haven't experienced life like you have. Where
yeah,
it's
but
like,
it's
Jesus.
Like 2031. I don't know what it is, because, like, when I entered first grade in 96, 96, 97, sometime around there.
Spice Girls
and, like,
age, somewhere around there.
What?
Spice Girls came out in 97. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Macarena, whatever.
But yeah, like, and I just thought back. I'm like, well, okay, if you imagine if, like, that same sign had been put up in front of the elementary school that I was about to go into in 1996, like, would that same impact be felt? Like, welcome class of 2008? Like, would that have, like, the same... Would somebody in 1996 look at 2008 the same way I look at 2031 in the year 2018? Maybe. Probably. I don't know.
Probably.
Why do I waste my time thinking about that?
Mind blown.
Dumb question.
Mind blowing, though. That's crazy.
Basically, we're going to die tomorrow.
Basically, that's what you're trying to say.
Of old age.
Yep, and you're not going to make that banger of a song you should have made, Shadow. That's basically where we're getting back to.
Nah, I don't have any regrets.
And you won't have a win in Fortnite, man. What is the world coming
to? Oh, no.
Oh, that's what we live for. Anyways, guys, this has been another episode of the podcast. And again, I have to thank Shadow Beats. All the links will be just down in the description for Shadow. If you don't know who he is or what's going on with him and his channel, definitely got to hit up some bangers. He's got a couple of videos with 1 million views on them. You got to hit him up. Those are some bangers. Those are like some speedy outro videos and stuff. So anyways, but thanks again, Shadow. I really do appreciate it. I like doing the podcast with you. You're always a great guest. And I don't know if you're even a guest. You're like a co-host. So what am I saying?
Hey, Lamau.
But tell me what you guys want to see next time on the podcast. Leave it down in the description. As always, we'll have this thing on SoundCloud very shortly. So if you don't know what that link is, links will also be down in the description for that. I love your face. If there's anything you guys need, hit us up, and we'll try to do our best to get it accomplished. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out.